Well, hello, my name's Russ. Thank you for clicking on my channel. What can I tell you about this? For over 25 years, I drove tour buses for the music industry predominantly. I did a little bit of Formula One, and I did some stand-up comedians. And I did Eddie Izzard. I drove Eddie Izzard on 3 tours. I think we did the Circle, something about a dress, and Glorious. But I'm not gonna talk about that today. That will come up as and when. What I intend to do with this channel is I will be pulling out one of my laminates completely at random, and whatever story comes up from me pulling out that laminate, it's going to trigger a bunch of memories for me, and I'm going to share some of those with you. However, due to a family medical reason, and I'm currently at my mother's house. This is my mum's dog Millie. It's actually a painting of my mum's dog Millie, and yeah, she's one very cute, sweet Labrador. She's such a sweet-natured little dog. She's beautiful, and she's got a little sister called Safi, and it will be her birthday on Tuesday, so she'll be 2. And boy, do we know she's only 2 compared to Millie's 9. I said to Millie this afternoon, will you teach Safi how to be a little bit more like you, please? Because we can't. Anyway, enough about the dogs. Let's I wanted to, because I don't have my laminates here with me, I have thought long and hard about what story I could come up with as my first video. And this afternoon I discovered, or I learned, I'm not quite sure what the right term for that would be, but I found out that Stephen Cush, who is one of the founding members of the Men They Couldnt Hang, he died last year, and I didn't know about that, and I feel quite bad about that. So I've been talking to someone who knows him very well, and he reminds me that Cush lived his life to the fullest, and he truly did. And unfortunately, he had a heart attack and he died. And that is shit, but his life was far from shit. His life was immensely full of love, joy, laughs, and just pure creativity. Every single day would be new, and there would be a new experience. And I want to share some of those with you in my first video as my tribute to Cush and the Men They Couldnt Hang, who I understand tonight they are playing in Brighton. As I record this, they will be on stage in Brighton, which is about 45 minutes from where I live. Had I been at home, I would have I don't know how you put yourself on the guest list without anyone knowing, but there are ways that you just turn up and you blag your way in, and I would have done that this afternoon. I would have gone to Brighton. I would have put my arms around those boys and said, wow, I'm so sorry for the sad loss that you have all experienced, and I wish I was there tonight. I really do wish I was there tonight, because I know it would be an amazing show, because they always pull it out the bag, and they run on love for their trade, their craft, and their audience too. And I can tell you this one story. I think we were in Switzerland, and it was a particularly great show. And this was the crowd were just, each and every one of those guys in the crowd knew individually each person in the band and the crew. They all knew them from previous shows, and some of them had driven for hours to get there. It was such an amazing night that the boys, when they went off and did their encore, they came on They came on stark bollock naked for the encore. And of course, you couldn't see the drummer was hidden behind the drums, and he was tactfully hidden everything as they walked onto the stage. But they had to come through the pub to get to the stage. You could see their bare asses, absolutely for sure. Those bare asses were on show. But the Formidables were hidden behind guitars and drums, and it brought the house down. Everybody there loved that night. It was just brilliant. And it was in 97, I'm sure it was 97, and after the show we had a bit of a well, I didn't have a drink, but the boys had a bit of a drink, and there was a bit of a party after the show in the pub. And we were dancing to oh my word, the Prodigy, Firestarter. That's what we were dancing on. And Breathe, I think, had just come out. Maybe it was just Firestarter. I can't remember. Yeah, it must have been Firestarter. It was just absolutely, insane. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. And was at the show afterwards. We got into the bus, and the boys were hungry, and we had to drive through like a high street, because where the gig was during the day, the bus had permission to come through like a pedestrianised area, and then driving out after the show, obviously pedestrianised, people that weren't at the show, there weren't many people that were in the city that night, or in the town. It was only a small gig. We pulled outside this kebab shop, and one of the crew just put on a pair of glasses and a hat and pulled up the collar and everything like that, and we got him off and into the, no, I'm thinking that was a different tour. That was the Errol Brown crew. Yeah, that was a completely different tour. But let's go back to Switzerland with the Men They Couldn't Hang. I'll probably have to edit this out now. On that tour, the boys wrote a song on the back of my bus. I'm going to start that again because I was picking my nose. On that tour, the boys wrote a song on the back of my bus, and they called it Nightbird. The bus was called Nightbird. I hope I can find a photo before I put this video out, but there may or may not be a photo. I haven't got that many photos from years gone by. I should have to plough through what's on my phone and see what I've got. But the bus was called Nightbird, and if you know the Men They Couldn't Hang, you will know the song Nightbird. Well, that was written on the bus during that tour. That's how much fun and laughter we had, and to have the honour, I can't put in words, to have the honour of any band, but especially those guys, write a song which was completely influenced by the time they were having on the bus, because it was about the bus that they were on. It blows my mind to this day. It really does. They come up with some, wow, some of their songs are amazing. They're so emotional, they're energetic, they just fill you with life. They fill you with life. So if you haven't heard of the Men They Couldn't Hang, there's going to be links in the bottom of this video in the description. Please go check them out, and tell them Russ the Bus sent you. And Ian Driver, go and have a look at Ian Driver as well. He was very influential to some of their success and publicity, and what a great guy. He gave a very honourable tribute to Cush on his channel, and it was actually that brought to my attention. I saw that, the thumbnail. I saw the thumbnail on my YouTube channel, on my page, and that's how I found out that Cush had died. So rest in peace, my friend. Happy memories, and thank you for having the honour of you writing that song on my bus. It was a privilege to have worked with you all, and my heart is bleeding for you. I love you. Thank you. I look forward to speaking to you again in the next one. Bye for now. I haven't got a sign off yet. It's my first video. Stay weird.